20-0 lead, and that defense snorting fire, looking to hurt somebody.
Yeah, there's the offense of the New England Patriots. Special teams players.
Ryan Ingram being taped up.
And a long day. Tony Franklin.
A lot of teams leave Soldier Field with long faces. We saw a great Denver team come in here last year and get blasted 24-0, and that was the score at the half.
Denver rebounded. New England must too.
That's what Barry was saying last night. You're going to get it handed to you a lot of days in this league. It's what you do when you have to come back.
That was a design rollout. Julius Adams and Toby Williams there to make the tackle. Excuse me, that was Toby Williams. That was a design rollout, trying to get the ball to Emory Moorhead, but Toby Williams right there to make the tackle.
So the game clock shows 14:25 and running to play as the Chicago Bears have third down and about 12 coming up. Ball position at their 43-yard line. They opened the scoring on their first drive of the day when Jim McMahon hit Dennis McKinnon on a 32-yard scoring pass play. Then shortly before half, Butler kicked a field goal. It was 10-0. Suey got in from less than a yard out to give the Bears a late third-quarter lead, 17-0. That has since been extended on a Butler field goal to 20-0. That's how it stands now. McMahon hit full force, and Jim McMahon is down, but he's going to be up. Kenneth Sims coming hard.
Tell you, the Chicago Bears put Jim McMahon in an awful lot of jeopardy. They don't mind
hard to believe.
Rolled out.
Leading 20-0. They got a quarterback who's on the injury list. Played his first regular season game last Sunday since November 5th of last year. And they're throwing the ball with a 20-0 lead and letting the guy get a full hit from a 280-pound defensive lineman.
Sounds like you don't like that idea. Neither do I. And I'm sure McMahon doesn't either.
I know one thing. You're going to end up, the Bears could have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, I think, with this defense, but they're not going to get near it without McMahon.
I agree. Give it to Suey. Give it to Gentry. Give it to anybody but Jim McMahon.
They got no points at all against the 49ers. The playoffs. Patriots will get the ball back now with 13:42 to play in the game. And we'll be back to Soldier Field in Chicago right after this. Steve Fuller, the man who quarterbacked the Bears in that NFC Championship game after Jim McMahon suffered the season-ending injury, is now in to direct the Chicago offense. Or will be very shortly. The Patriots right now have the ball 1st and 10. Fuller has been warming up. McMahon has been exposed to some big hits, even though the Bears are leading 20-0 on his scrambling the last time. He got the full force of Kenneth Sims, a 280-pound defensive end. Now Eason and the Patriot offense setting up. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 from their 31-yard line.
Dent, untouched. Third sack of the day. Totally untouched. Ran a game up front. Hampton had a hold of the offensive guard and tackle. Dent with great foot speed. Comes from the outside. They got the starters still in there. Watch again from the left-hand side of the screen. You see Dent goes all the way around the right guard. Brock gets caught up in the blocking scheme. Eason has no chance.
Singletary showing blitz. He does not. Eason gets a little time, but the Bear defense stops him again. Eason sees the end of the play from the ground where he's knocked down again. Now we're told that Jim McMahon has a neck injury and won't return to the game.
Well, I would hope so. Tell you what, though, the problem with having a head coach like Mike Ditka, who's a guy I really admire, he's one of the real gritty guys that played in the NFL. He didn't like these pansy quarterbacks saying, I got a stiff neck, I can't play, coach. It's what? Get out there. I played with stiff necks, broken bones, bruised ribs, bad feet, old legs. Get out there and play.
Defense can only take you so far, though. McMahon is a tremendous winning quarterback. He is a winning player, not just a guy with big numbers.
Untouched.
Otis Wilson. Now Eason has become a tackling dummy as the New England pass offense is inept at blocking the blitzing Chicago Bears. Last year, the Patriots gave up 66 sacks. Only one team in the NFL gave up more. Atlanta gave up 67.
See, the problem is they don't change personnel. Chicago when they go to this defense. So the offense never has anyone to really key on. The blitz will come from anywhere. Bears fourth sack today. 6 now on the season.
Ditka is also a hard-line NFC man. Spent his whole career as a player and as a coach in the National Conference, and he wants to beat the American Conference as much as he can and by as big a margin as he can. Great punt by Camarillo against an all-out run. Manis takes it back to his 40. And the Patriots special teamers make the knockdown at the 42-yard line. 50-yard punt, just a 2-yard return.
He's been a bright spot for the Patriots.
So Camarillo goes off, and we'll be back after this. In his stint in the game, he threw 21 times, completed 13. You can see that's a very serious sore neck. They kept him in, kept him throwing, kept him running. Now they're paying a price.
232 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
He got hurt running to throw with the Bears leading 20-0 in the fourth quarter. Bears go to the run, and Carey is out close to the 45-yard line. 2 guys start up. There's going to be a foul call on Lippett and Marjoram. They were knocking on each other. As we check the baseball scoreboard, Mets continue to lead Montreal. Cardinals now moved in front of the Cubs 1-0. Toronto up on the Yankees 6-0. L.A. blowing away everybody in the West. And then, of course, next week,
personal foul against New England.
NBC Sports continues its coverage of the '85 baseball season. Some of you will see the Yankees go into Baltimore to take on the Orioles. Others will watch the Expos play the Cardinals in St. Louis. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock Eastern time with Major League Baseball, an inside look. The tradition is here. The memories are waiting on the network of the 1985 League Championship Series.
John, the New England Patriots today have punted 9 times.
So the ball is down to the 40-yard line. The record for the Patriots in a single game is 11 punts. First and 10, Chicago, with Steve Fuller at quarterback, and the Bears in the lead 20-0. Calvin Thomas. .240 pounds, and the big guy can run.
Ronnie Lippett on the tackle. They're just blowing away an excellent defense, which is tragic to watch. So much of this game is spirit, enthusiasm. When your offense can't generate any yards or points, 27-20 now. Cincinnati coming back on St. Louis. Jim reached a 47-yard field goal in the fourth quarter.
A lot of time to play. 13-20 in that game. Cardinals up by 7. That time Calvin Thomas on a first down carry got only to the line of scrimmage. Kenneth Sims, 77, threw off the blocker and hit him. Big Kenneth Sims, who was the #1 player picked in the NFL the year he came out of Texas. Now in his 4th year, and as Bucko Kilroy, the Patriot front office, says there's no more excuses for Kenneth Sims. This is the year he has to start to show some, and he did. He had his best game ever last Sunday.
2 of those first picks in the draft played for the New England Patriots. Pryor and Sims.
Thomas Sanders on a 2nd down and 10 carry gets to about the 30-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Chicago.
Got an interesting matchup here. Ken Marjoram and Ronnie Lippett are really going at each other at the near side of the field. Oh, look at that. This is a team, the Patriots last year were an excellent running football team, and last week had 208 yards rushing.
And just as impressively allowed only 59 to the Packers. So the Bears, you might be looking at a definite contender for the Super Bowl in New Orleans, which you'll see on NBC Sports in January. The Bears seem to have the pieces together. Here's a stick, though, on a blitz by Don Blackman. And Fuller, who was shaken up often last year, has helped from the turf, but he'll stay in the game. And now the Bears will have to punt the ball. Maury Buford comes back out. New England will get the ball with 9:48 to play. The clock running and the Patriots trailing 20-0. They have never in this game been even remotely close to scoring points. They were across midfield once in the first half. They got to the 49. The next play they were penalized and went back.
They were sacked. Not penalized, sacked.
That's happened, what, 3 times, 3 sacks. Singletary has 2 4 sacks at the count now. End over and punt by Buford. Fryer fields it at his 10, fair catching the ball. Gentry and Lippett are changing pushes again. A 30-yard punt. The Patriot offense comes out.
At the 10.
It's had pop gun power so far today. We'll see if they can generate something down the stretch.
31 yards.
Bad news, Patriot fans, is New England's losing to these powerful Bears 20-0. The good news, Trump, is the Patriots go to Buffalo next week.
Yeah, Raymond Berry talked to us last night about how his team responds to winning and to losing. I don't think he expected to be beaten by this amount, but he is going to find out exactly how his team responds to losing after this performance.
Eason still in the game, still pitching. Lofts one downfield. There's a man open. This could go the distance. James is on the run. This is going to be a touchdown for the Patriots. 90 yards, and the Patriots are in the end zone. James beat the linebacker, and Tony Eason, standing in against an all-out rush, throws a perfect ball. So the Patriots finally explode and get on the board, a 90-yard pass play.
To the most unlikely of receivers. Now, James has got good speed, but it doesn't come close to the speed of Stanley Morgan, Stephen Starring, Cedric Jones. From the shotgun, not a lot of pressure on Eason this time. Well, he does get rocked, though, just as he throws it. This is a great catch. You see Wilber Marshall. I'm surprised that James can outrun Wilber Marshall. Marshall's supposed to have like 4.6 speed, maybe. James has 4.5. Big play.
It's the longest touchdown pass play in the history of the Patriots. Previous longest was 87 yards.
And the first time the Bears have allowed a touchdown in the last 6 quarters.
Tony Franklin makes a rare appearance this afternoon, hits the point after. Took 12 seconds for Eason to take his drop and unload, and for Craig James to get into the end zone.
Look at the big Band-Aid Craig James has on his chin. I wonder if he got that today. Well,
looking play.
That's got to make New England feel a little better. This is a tough throw by Eason because the receiver is going straight away from him, and a very difficult catch made by Craig James. That's right on the money.
Made that move away from Wilber Marshall, and in he goes. Williams finally knocks Singletary off the play. The completion of a 90-yard touchdown pass play from Tony Eason to Greg James, the longest in Patriot history.
Do you go for an onside kick here if you're the New England Patriots?
Yeah, I think you do.
They're certainly not going to give up, that's for sure. In a game that's been so totally dominated by the Chicago Bears, they can retain some respectability here.
Scoreboard clicking away now as you see how things stand. Washington and Houston still a field goal separate.
That's astounding.
Look at this.
Wow.
Jets now blowing away Buffalo 35-3. That's who the Patriots see next week. The Bills. Rams up on Philadelphia now 17-6. Miami holding to a surprisingly small lead over a big underdog Indianapolis. That came in the 4th quarter. Tony Franklin ready to kick off now for New England.
Are deep for the Bears.
High kick. Gentry, 4-yard line. And the Bears go on offense from their 18-yard line. Ron McSwain was down to make the hit. Football action continues next Sunday on NBC. The Browns and the Cowboys meet at Irving, Texas. The Cowboys will be in ill humor here, Trump, after they're getting not only upset but blown out 26-0 by Detroit. Other regional games and some good matchups include San Diego at Cincinnati. Denver goes against Atlanta in the late games, Kansas City at Miami, and the Jets play the Packers at Green Bay. Steve Fuller taking a drop. Running and very well. He gets out to the 27-yard line. Got ahead for a gain of about 5 or 6 yards.
Johnny Rembert on the tackle. New rule in the NFL for quarterbacks running like that. If they attempt a hook slide, they are down at that point. You're not supposed to be able to hit them, just to protect the quarterback a little bit.
Panorama of Soldier Field in Chicago. Well, they've had some great games here. Biggest crowd they ever had here, 1927. Notre Dame played Southern California. 123,000 filled Soldier Field.
But the stadium has changed a great deal. It can't accommodate 123,000 now, right?
40,000 couldn't see the game. They were just happy to be here.
There's a little section to the, what way is that? North? Yeah, to the north end zone that looks like a bull ring. Where they enclose Soldier Field. And that's where the Chicago Bears used to work out. Yeah, to that end, the other end. And it looks like a little bull ring in there.
They once had 105,000 here to see a high school championship game because there was such a spectacular player in it.
Who?
Someone who never went on to pro football that I know of. He played at Northwestern, Bill DeCoravan. But in high school, he used to run for touchdowns about every third carry. End off up the middle. Not much, but something, and most importantly from a Chicago standpoint, the Bears are making the clock tick. 7:13 running. The Bears in the lead, 20-7, but the Patriots are going to get it back now.
On a touchdown pass from Eason to Craig James, the longest pass in the history of Soldier Field.
That goes back in 1919.
Not only a Patriot record, but a Soldier Field record.
Soldier Field was quite an enterprise when they put this thing together. It's built on piling, dropped 65 feet into Lake Michigan.
This is the oldest stadium in the NFL, isn't it?
I think it has to be. So at any moment, Trump, you could be in Lake Michigan.
No. I would think Lambeau Field in Green Bay is probably the only field that has a chance to even be close. And of course, for years, the Chicago Bears played in Wrigley Field.
Long in tradition also. The LA Coliseum from 1931. Second oldest. Here comes Irving Fryer. Irving came in with the big reputation, got the big bucks, but he's yet to do it for the New England Patriots.
51 yards on the punt, 11 yards on the return.
42-yard punt.
Here's the way the rest of the schedule looks for these two ball clubs.
Patriots go to Buffalo, then go home to play the Raiders. Bears with tough scheduling have to play at Minnesota on Thursday night, and then they go against the Redskins here at Soldier Field. Tony Eason, whose last throw is good for a 90-yard touchdown pass play, throws another big strike, a 17-yard gain out to the 49-yard line. Cedric Jones caught it.
Patriots going with a hurry-up offense now. Bears are playing the prevent, figuring the clock is on their side, even though their lead is now just 13 points.
At time, leading Derek Ramsey. Easton was a little long, so it's incomplete with 5:41 to play in the game. St. Louis now opens up a 14-point advantage on the Bengals as Stump Mitchell got in a 1-yard run.
Cardinals have some offensive weapons.
They get
Anderson, Roy Green, Tilley, Stump Mitchell. Neil Lomax is now kicking the ball particularly well. They got a great defense, and man, have they got some offensive weapons.
They got some great pass rushers. That new guy, Freddie Joe Nunn, Curtis Greer, had about 17 sacks last year.
Long day for Raymond Berry.
Second down and 10 for Eason. Blitz it is. Tony Eason goes down hard. Sacked for a 5th time.
Steve McMichael once again games up front. That time at least McMichael was blocked. It wasn't a free shot at Eason. You can see all the movement up there. It's very hard for a line that really hasn't been together a great deal. But John Hanna hurt, Haley hurt. Tough team to play when your offensive line is not healthy. Someone said that if you took a team picture of the New England Patriots, it turned out to be an X-ray.
It's been a tough start. And of course, one of the future Hall of Famers not here, and it really hurts, and that's John Hanna.
Yeah, the hog. He's got a pulled calf muscle. Appears to be a pretty serious injury. He would help in that offensive line.
Eason's been sacked 5 times, losses of 44 yards in the 5 sacks. Raymond Berry staying with him. Berry was so interested in improving Eason's performance. One of the problems with all the sacks last year, they had him backpedaling when he was dropping to throw, and they wanted to see the whole field, but he was slow getting back. Berry and Eason came all the way back to Champaign and looked at game films at the University of Illinois, where he set those 7 NCAA passing records. So he was just a much more effective quarterback taking across that drop.
The other thing is, under Ron Meyer, the New England Patriots did not use the shotgun. Tony Eason likes the shotgun, so Raymond Berry put it in. Patriots 2 of 12 in third down conversions today. Right now they face about 3rd and 16, 3rd and 15.
We'll be going to NFL 85 for the complete story on Sunday number 2 of the 85 season. The Chicago Bears off to an impressive start. Winners over Tampa Bay a week ago. They now lead New England 20-7 with 5:36 to play under Coach Ditka.
Not too soon for the New England Patriots do we get to that NFL 85 show.
Patriots will be on the road again next week at Buffalo. Chicago on the road Thursday night to play the Vikings.
Showing blitz.
4-man rush. Eason stands in. Throwing on the run. Tony Eason is knocked down hard. Steve McMichael got him as he released the ball. Bears with the lead, but taking no prisoners.
He's been getting up off that turf a lot today.
10th punt, one from the Patriot team record.
Camarillo has kicked the ball particularly well, but this poor offense just not healthy enough to compete with this ferocious Chicago Bear defense.
Right here where the Bears have been a great part of the NFL for so many years, a famous football address on the shores of Lake Michigan. And the Bears have defense now to go with Walter Payton and Jim McMahon, and they believe they can go the distance this season as they're opening up with a 2-0 lead. 2-0 record, 2-0 if they come out of this, and it looks like they will. Here is the punch outfield. Hitting the ball is Camarillo. Dewerson is back with a penalty marker down. Dave Dewerson gets out to the 22-yard line. A 46-yard punt and a 9-yard return.
This could go either way. Chicago Bear defensive lineman jumped off sides, but then offsides. Whoops, wait a minute, he's going to ask again.
Offside is signaled against the Bears.
The 5 yards will not help.
So with 5:15 to play, the Patriots now, let's see, they're going to punt it again. Apparently they are. Camarillo's coming back out. Not one of the more exciting moments in the game with 44 guys milling around wondering what the next play is.
Receiving team, penalty is declined, first down.
I'll look at the scoreboard as they come in. The Jets now leading Buffalo 42-3. So it appears the Bills, who won 2 games a year ago, have again run up the white flag.
You're saying it's a possibility that Hank Bulla, who's a defensive coordinator, may take over for Kay Stevenson quickly,
yes.
soon. Miami back with a vengeance over Indianapolis, now 30-7.
You get beat 42-3, you quit.
It's quick.
Well, you quit.
Oh, you quit.
I would think when you consider what the Jets did their opening game, they lost 31-0. The Jets did.
Come on now, let's move it, move it.
First down and 10 now for Chicago. Bears will be running the ball and trying to run the clock. Second back through. Coming out is Tom Sanders, a rookie from Texas A&M. Now let's go to Bob Costas in New York.
All right, Don, on this play, the Cardinals shotgun blows some holes in the Cincinnati defense. A 42-yard catch and run. Neil Lomax to stump Mitchell. Moments later, the drive continuing. Mitchell scored from the 1. Cards lead 34-20, 9.5 minutes left.
And here at Soldier Field, it is Chicago 20, New England 7. The Bears led 10-0 at the half, extended at the 20-0. Then the Patriots finally hit a big play when Tony Eason dropped back, hit Craig James over the middle out of the backfield, and he was on a 90-yard foot race to the end zone. A 90-yard touchdown pass play, the longest in Patriot history, averted a shutout. With 4:34 left to play, Fuller has called a timeout for Chicago and has gone over to the sideline to talk to Mike Ditka.
You picked the Chicago Bears, obviously, in the NFC Central. No question about it.
I don't know, Detroit might have something.
Well, today it looks like they have something. Darrell Rodgers, and an awesome beginning to this 1985 football season. But with this defense, this team has got to be considered one of the...
I think the Bears can beat anybody if they keep McMahon in.
If they can generate today, they haven't really done a great job offensively. They've come up with 3 or 4 big plays. But this is the most stifling defense I can think of in the NFL. There's only one team that really had a chance or did a good job against the Bears, and that was the Super Bowl champion 49ers. Still 6-0 to run over New York in the 5th. Mets lead Montreal 5-2 in the 8th. Cardinals up on Chicago 1-0. Those 3 races close. Yankees could be 4.5 back. St. Louis and the Mets, if it stays the same, score-wise, will remain the same.
Raymond Berry. A long afternoon that every head coach has to go through. Not over yet, though, and they did hit the big play with 4:34 left to play in the game. Chicago has the ball now, 2nd down and 10. Calvin Thomas is the up-back. He could get it right here. Calvin Thomas runs the ball, and the big fullback takes it to the 25. Gain of only 3 yards, though, on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 as Dennis Owens, a middle guard, nose tackle for the Patriots, made the stop.
You can't compliment this New England defense enough. They're still working at it. Owens there on the center, trying to do the best they possibly can.
Hold the ball.
Game clock down to 4:05 to play as the Bears break the huddle on a sunshiny day in Chicago. When the weather gets tougher here in the Windy City, so do the Bears, and that wind starts to sweep in off Lake Michigan. The defense hurts all the more. Running now, coming ahead with the ball is Tom Sanders, the rookie back, getting some time as Nelson makes the knockdown. Patriots now signal for a timeout with 3:44 to play. Chicago will have to punt the ball back.
Got an injury to an offensive lineman of the Chicago Bears, Mark Bortz. He seems to be all right.
A player they're very pleased with, a 3rd-year player out of Iowa, free agent.
Was a college defensive lineman. After the fashion of the Dallas Cowboys, they converted him to an offensive lineman.
3:44 left to play, so Eason and the Patriot offense gets another crack at it as they now get set to receive a Chicago punt with 4th down and 4 coming up.
The only time the New England Patriots have crossed midfield is the touchdown on Craig James. Is that correct?
I think well, other than that one time they were at the 49 of the Bears and then got sacked in the first half.
That's amazing. Dallas gets on the board now.
It looks like it might be too little too late, although there's a long time. Look at this, interesting. They got Hogaboom in the game now. He threw to Tony Hill.
Danny White out, huh? Well, what would Dallas be without a quarterback controversy? Although after their performance against Washington last Monday night, I didn't think anybody come close to Dallas.
Maybe they didn't think that either and took a week Sunday off, thinking they could blow out the Lions. Not too well hit by Buford. Be tough to handle as Fryer goes across. Now he has to let the ball roll, and it goes down to the 32-yard line of New England, and the Patriot offense comes back out one more time. 40-yard punt as Tony Eason comes out. A man who's been victimized 5 times, being sacked, but he still has a spring in his step as he runs out.
5 sacks, 3 interceptions thrown by Tony Eason. First time in his career he's thrown for more than 1 in a game.
NFL 85 with the story of week 2. Coming up as soon as the game is over. 3:33 to play, and the Bears in the lead 20-7. Here's Eason from the shotgun on first down.
Blitz. Marshall untouched.
Wilbur Marshall gets Tony Eason all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Look at Eason. Well, he's getting up slower and slower and slower. The Bears run so many games up front. Watch the center, 58. He just can't quite get out there on Marshall, and Marshall is by him.
And 22 from the 20.
Pete Brock has just had his head on a swivel today trying to pick up all these blitzers. I'm not sure you can put it totally on his shoulders.
Second down and 22 now.
Somebody help him out here.
It's incomplete. Buddy Ryan was over there making sure the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Buddy doesn't flatter guys on his team that don't do well. Perry came in. He said, here's a draft mistake. Instead of his cornerbacks last year, we got the 2 worst cornerbacks in the NFL.
And all they do is play in the NFC Championship game. I imagine that huddle is pretty quiet.
Buddy can't knock William too much for his weight, so Buddy's trained up a little over the years. Eason lets her rip. Incomplete at the 25-yard line. A long out. Now we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
You're watching Channel 17, WTVO Rockford.
We're back at sold-out Soldier Field in Chicago. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. 2:57 left to play in the game. Raymond Berry's New England Patriots are trailing the Bears 20-7. They were down 20-0 much of this game. Then hit on a long play, but Eason, the young quarterback from Illinois, who has been sacked a number of times, comes off the field unable to move the team on that set of downs.
Raymond Berry, a good psychologist. He's going to have a real job with Tony Eason now, trying to build him up for the rest of this season.
Camarillo unloads again, and Doerson takes it at his 28. And Doerson is knocked down at the 37-yard line, where Chicago goes on offense, 1st and 10. 52-yard punt as he ties the team record for number of punts in a game. And another penalty markers down, might have been on the kick return.
However, there is a flag on the play.
Referee Tom Dooley is ready to speak. And he says, holding. Legal use of hands against Chicago. The Rams beat the Eagles 17-6 at Veterans Stadium. So the Rams jump off to a 2-0 start in the NFC West, and the Eagles are 0-2.
A final score.
Look at there. Raymond Berry, Tony Eason.
The Eagles 6.
Tough day for New England. Tough day for a young man who is going to have a very, very bright future in the NFL. Has already performed very admirably in that class of great quarterbacks that came out in 1983. All of them 6 taken, 5 of the 6 in the AFC East. Eason would rather forget this day. This is his first return to Illinois. He was a real hero for the University of Illinois. An awful lot of Illini fans up here. Oh, yeah.
He is an excellent player. This guy's going to be one of the stars in the league. He was the 3rd player picked in that quarterback draft of '83.
Elway was first.
Todd Blackledge, who doesn't get it down in with Kansas City, was 2nd.
Marino was last.
Yep. And Jim Kelly was picked after Eason. Marino was last.
Raymond Berry just got to wipe this game out of his team's mind and go on from here. They got 14 left. Do the best they possibly can.
There was a questionable call in Washington a bit ago in a very tight game, and we're going to see it in just a moment. Alvin Thomas turns the corner. and gets to midfield. Now let's go to NFL 85 and Bob Costas.
All right, Don, watch this controversial play at RFK Stadium in Washington. Warren Moon fires for Drew Hill. Did he get his feet down? There's one for sure. The left foot drags, appears to be down. The official said no. 16-13 Skins.
They're still playing, though, I guess.
They are still playing. There's a face mask on that